Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talking About Talking. I'm Dr. Dennis Becker. This is my colleague Lori Schloff, and we're
Mhm.
speech coaches at the Speech Improvement Company in Boston. And today, in this episode, we're going to be talking about something that very interesting to both the guys and the
Mm.
gals out there. So don't
Yeah.
go away. We're talking about talking when you're talking.
About the opposite sex or your partner. So, in other
Yeah.
words, when women are together talking about their partners, boyfriends, spouses, lovers, what kinds of things are do's and don'ts from a male point of view, and when you guys get together, and I don't even know if you talk about us at all, but what are some things we'd like you to do and definitely don't want you to do? Okay, so I'm going to start with a little advice to guys, okay?
All right.
Women love it. Surprise, surprise. If you compliment them about their looks,
Oh, no,
no
no,
matter
no, no.
where you
No,
are.
no, no. You can't do that. No, no, no.
No, I'm
No,
talking
you
about your partner.
Yeah, but if I say something about somebody about okay, you talk about what guys say. What if
Yeah.
I say something to my buddies or a friend or another woman even about my partner, and I say something about her physique. She's
Yeah,
her
yeah.
body. You know what I'm talking about? If I get a
But
little
we'd
bit.
love hearing down the grapevine that, oh boy, does your husband admire you?
Oh no, I think well then we have to be very careful what we say. We can't say things are too big or too
Oh my
small.
God, no.
See,
You
see.
didn't hear me. I said compliment, dear.
Well, what might be a compliment to us may not be taken as a compliment to our partner.
Oh, my wife has a big rear end. Now, would
Well,
that be a compliment?
It might be to the
Oh
guys,
my God.
but see, not to the women, right? Women, right, might not be a compliment
Don't
to
use
you.
the word big at all. Okay, this is great. We could spend like an hour on this. Second thing is women really like it if you notice something they achieved. Baked a great cake. Roast. Oh, please notice.
Cake.
As a matter of fact, I find out that my husband has talked about my achievement to other people, and it makes me feel good. Though he, for some weird guy reason, hasn't said anything to me. That's the part I don't get.
Oh, well, I essentially I agree with you. I understand that it's the way you talk about your partner to others should be respectful.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's admirable. You're choosing the aspects, the components of their physique and their performance that is, pleasing to you or positive. But okay, period.
But
But
talk about
let
Hillary
me just
Clinton,
say,
too.
let me just tell Hillary Clinton a second. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
talk
because
about
that's
that.
news.
Let me just tell you that guys don't always talk about that kind of stuff. I
Mm.
mean, women may go together and talk about their partners or each other.
Yeah.
Guys,
It's just not their
we typically
thing.
don't talk about that. Typically, I mean, there are exceptions, obviously, but for the most part, a couple of guys get together, or even best friends get together. They may not just casually talk
Sure.
about their partner. They may say a word or two about it, but we don't compare the kind of shoes or the baking or the hairstyle or even the physique. We really don't. We may talk about a third person,
Right.
somebody, but our own partners, guys don't typically
All
do
right.
that.
Well, let's get into Hillary Clinton because
Okay,
a
all
lot
right.
sort of happened. Kind of.
Oh,
She
recently.
got herself embroiled in stuff, and it certainly
Yeah.
relates to her husband, President Bill Clinton. So, what's your take on?
Well,
Let's review what happened.
what happened, you all remember. She was
Mhm.
working in the Congo, and she was at a press conference.
Yeah.
And she had an earpiece on for the interpreter.
Yeah.
So she was asked a
Mhm.
question, and the question was something like, "What does the president think about so and so?" Whatever the
President
issue
Clinton.
is.
Yeah.
Meaning President Obama. Okay.
Yeah.
She thought, or the interpreter
The
said,
interpreter.
President Clinton. So she interpreted the question as being, "You're asking me," in this way she reacted. "You're asking
Yeah.
me what my husband thinks? I'm not gonna." And she went off the deep end.
Right, and she
Okay?
did one of these at the end.
Yeah, it was very huffy. I thought it was two things. First of all, it was inappropriate for someone at her level to behave in that way. She should know. Come on, anybody at that level knows. She might even if it wasn't a mistake, you may well get asked questions about, in this case, your husband, because you're both such high-profile individuals. She should have been prepared for that. But secondly, to me, it said something more about the communication between the two of them at home. Somehow, she's not comfortable talking about or having others talk about him with her. So that seemed to me a little bit deeper than just bad public performance. What do you think?
I agree with you that whatever resentment about his charisma, about his fame, about his diplomacy, and let's face it, about the fact that he's an admitted cheater. I mean, in other words, okay, let me tell you a definite don't, guys. Don't talk about your dalliances when you're behind a microphone.
How about
this
ever?
This is a real
How about ever?
don't to do. Yeah. So, Spitzer, Sanford admitted he had a soulmate. Oh, that's so winning with the wife.
All those guys got busted. They weren't going to talk about it unless they got busted, but they got busted. But you never talk
Right.
about that sort of stuff.
Well, of course. So, what's the famous quote? And it really is true. Hell hath no fury, like like Hillary Clinton scorned. So all the hot buttons were there. Now, in her defense, she was in a situation where there was a lot of brutality towards women in the Congo, which she was personally
right.
dealing with.
That's true.
She did have jet lag. I'd say let's forgive her for this one. So she acted human.
That's a very, very good point, because we talked about that when we were talking about the Gates thing back in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Remember that? The environment within which that happened, both the officer and the professor probably behaved poorly. We do have to look at the environment that Hillary was in at that time. Her mind had been taken by so many horrific examples of what was happening to women, what was happening to women in the Congo, that, yes, okay, I'm sure she was at the edge, and that one just pushed it over. So I agree, we have to sort of give her a pass on that one. But, but she should still, she should know better. And all professionals should know better than that.
Yeah, too much spilling. Anyway, do we have time for one more thing I want to let guys know that some women do?
Maybe we better take the time. Sure, go ahead.
Alrighty. Well, I don't know if men know this, but a lot of women, especially good friends, when they get together, they will actually talk about the problems they might be having with their partner.
Hardly with men. That's not going to happen.
So if it's really important for you to not have your female partner share things with friends, you better bring up the topic.
Well, okay, it doesn't really come up. I mean, guys wouldn't, I mean, it may. But as a general rule, or you can expect it when you have coffee or have a beer with somebody that that's going to come up, not likely. It's just not in the male DNA to do it as comfortably as females.
Yeah.
That's not to say it doesn't or shouldn't happen. Sometimes it's actually very helpful to have someone to talk things over with.
That's the whole point. That is the fundamental reason is women gain a lot by sharing problems with other women.
Yeah.
So this is a touchy subject because it could mean, guys, I hate to tell you, you might be being talked about.
Yeah. Well,
I know you don't like that.
No, we like it in a way. We like it in a way, but it depends on who you're talking to and what you're saying and so forth. But there's obviously a lot for all of us to learn, particularly probably us guys.
Yeah, really.
So, tune in again next time. See what our next episode is about. It's going to be something related to this. You know it. In the meantime, I'm Dr. Dennis Becker and Lori Slough. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.